And with that, let's bring in Governor Ron DeSantis, who is monitoring Peter's report, the 2024 presidential candidate, getting set for his debate with Gavin Newsom and debate maybe with just three others to get the Republican nomination. Governor, good to see you. Can I have you respond to both those issues Peter laid out? First off, on the assault weapons ban, this guy who's on the loose is lethal. He is using assault weapons. He is military trained. Do you believe that President Biden has the momentum behind him to do that again? What Bill Clinton did, ban assault weapons, and where do you stand?
No, I think Joe Biden is a fierce opponent of the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding citizens. He's been that for a long time, and he uses these as an example, as a pretext to advance an agenda he always wants to do. Look, this guy in Maine, we're going to get more information. Hopefully they catch him soon. He's obviously very dangerous. He had a mental health intervention. This is not just a run-of-the-mill law-abiding American, and something happened that he was still allowed to be out there. So focus on the individual rather than trying to nuke the rights of every law-abiding citizen. And then on the Syria strikes, Brian, it seems to me we've got troops there. It's not clear to me that we have enough troops to really make an impact with whatever they're trying to do, and yet we have enough troops to where they're going to be able to be targets. And so they're kind of sitting ducks there. I don't know what the strategic objective of them being there is, but this is an example of, I think, Biden's rudderless foreign policy.
On the assault weapons ban, I'm sure you go out. You don't need to look at Gallup. You talk to more people than anybody else, just like all the candidates. 6 in 10 people say mass shootings is one of the top issues they care about. And that's Republicans and Democrats, especially suburban women. You worry about these school shootings. How do you attack it, knowing the issue matters to you, too, with young kids?
Just like how we did in Florida, for example, Brian. We had the Parkland shooting the year before I became governor. So I became governor, and I took the lessons from that and the recommendations, and we've created really strong school security. We have SROs in every school. We have different layouts to make it so that they're hard targets and not soft targets. We've put over $1 billion into that. I'm a parent of a 6, 5, and a 3-year-old. Trust me, that school security is very, very important. But to go to millions of Americans and blame them for this stuff, that's not the way to do it. Also, Brian, I'd say this. You look, a lot of the guys who commit violent crime, and yes, less than what we saw in Maine, a lot of these people go in and out of the justice system because of liberal, soft-on-crime policies. You do a crime, you should do the time. Stop cycling people back out. That will make communities safer, and Biden doesn't want to do that.
The other thing I want to go back to the foreign policy issue. I want to put up a map. I don't know if you have a monitor there. But we've been hit 19 times over the last few weeks. In Iraq, where we have 2,500. In Syria, where we have 900. We've gotten hit 90-plus times under the Biden administration, responded 4. This will be the 5th. Look at all those places in Iraq, these militias firing at our guys. Should we worry about hitting these Iranian militias in Iraq if the Iraqi government doesn't want us to?
If you harm American service members, you should have hell to pay. Now, I'm not sure Biden's policy with how he's deploying those troops is the right one. He's not really articulated why that's there. It seems like the risks are better than the benefits in terms of that. But put that aside. Wherever our troops are, if you're taking pot shots at them, you better be prepared to get return fire. We're not going to let our troops be sitting ducks.
You have a major foreign policy address at the Heritage today. The main points that separate you from the other candidates?
Well, we're going to unveil a whole-of-government approach to deal with what really is our top threat, the Chinese Communist Party. If you look what's happening in Gaza and Israel and Hamas, that's all funded by Iran. Who's Iran's leading benefactor right now with the black market oil sales? China. You look at Russia and Ukraine. Who's Russia's main benefactor? China. Who represents a peer competitor to us militarily and increasingly economically? China. We're back in an era of great power rivalry after the end of the Cold War and the age of terrorism. We still have a lot of other threats, but we've got to get the China issue right. And so I'm going to have a policy that's going to get that job done.
Speaking of China, Governor Gavin Newsom, I think it was in Israel, then went over to China. You are going to debate him. Number one, is that debate still set?
It is set for November 30th on Fox News, and I saw him over there groveling with Xi Jinping, and I thought to myself, you know, these are two guys who locked down their people, violated their rights, you know, imposed medical authoritarianism, and really hurt their societies, and they both had really the same playbook with respect to COVID-19.
Wow. And lastly, do you think if you get the nomination, you're running against Gavin Newsom or President Biden?
I'm not convinced it will be Biden. I think Newsom wants it, but I think a lot of these other Democrats want it. So as Republicans, we just got to be prepared. We very well may not face Biden, and we need a candidate that's going to take all comers. I will take all comers. Bring it on.
All right. Thanks so much, Governor. Great to see you. Good luck at your speech today.
Thank you.